Hello, hello.
Hello. I was just gonna stay silent the whole time and just see what happened.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna go into like a showdown with me right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I was ready.
Yeah, who's
I was
breaking
ready.
the silence first?
You were already like talking hot shit in your head. You're like, he's not gonna say anything.
He's not.
We're gonna go on for minutes,
I'm not gonna
hours
keep-
even, and then I just give up after at the 8-second mark according to my recording.
Yeah.
Coco Pond!
We're here.
That's another one.
We're doing the thing. It's the Player Power Podcast, episode.
What's today's number of the day? 12.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
13.
13 Baker's dozen.
Yeah. You know something
Podcaster's
crazy?
dozen.
You know something crazy, though? We've already passed the 1 year mark of doing this show.
That is crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
That is actually really nuts when you really think about it. It's been an interesting year. Did not think this is how it would pan out year wise when we started.
No,
So
definitely not.
pretty funny. Wasn't even a meme at that point because there was that weird pre 2 weeks when it was a meme, and then it became a thing, and now
And
we're
then it was a big thing. It just kind of sucks because like now I'm just generally like physically not feeling the best right now. But now I'm getting in my head like
yeah. Oh,
overthinking
God,
every symptom.
It's okay. You
Yeah.
are fine. I can feel it in my bones.
Let's
It will
hope.
all be good. All will be good. All will be good.
You know what else happened though?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I bought a house.
Ryan's a big old homeowner now.
Yeah, I'm a good old homeowner. So big. I just keep hitting these life marks, these like
Yeah.
goals off 2020. So that's really good. But yeah, just bought a house. Actually, as we speak, we finished the floors. They sanded today. So
Oh yeah.
and I like peeped inside, and it already looks like a lot. Like the floors look awesome. Yeah, I like it a lot. It apparently makes rooms bigger. But yeah, that's been my life, and it's been a little hectic. But now that most of it's over, it's pretty nice, and I'm super excited to actually be in it and have like my own like stream, like podcasty room where I can kind of set everything up. It's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm super
Hell
looking
yeah.
forward to it. Yeah, I'm excited, boys. But also, actually, a bit update time too for our next going into segment. We should maybe before we go into it, we should talk about what this episode is. I don't think we said that yet. Actually, officially,
We probably should.
probably
So-
should. Yeah.
So, as some of you may know, some of you big gamer fans, the Game Awards 2020 is happening, I think it's like December 10th or 11th or 12th or something. So, what we're going to be doing here today is Ryan and I are going to be going through and we're going to be making predictions to see who's going to win which categories. Now, little disclaimer, we are going to be skipping over some of them. We're going to be skipping over some of the esports ones and like the content creator one just because we don't really have a lot to say about them or whatever. But those are the ones where like they just do it in like an offhand, like, oh, and also winner of best esports, whatever is this. Yeah.
Yeah, they just like
nice.
quickly mumble it, like
Yeah.
it's like the commercial of the awards. It's pretty
They
rough.
say it right before a commercial break.
Yeah, exactly. As the camera's fading away, and it's like the audience clapping, they just like quickly drop it in.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. But first, we can do the homework game. Updates.
Yes, we can. The homework game update. And as you all know, as you've been listening, we assigned each other a game to play in between podcast episodes, and then kind of give our reviews on and updates on how we've been playing. And I actually, technically now, I have officially beaten Hollow Knight, but I'm not done with the game yet.
Woo!
But yes, woo! I have beaten Hollow Knight, which is good to say.
Mhm.
So it was a good update for me. I kind of like rolled up my sleeves and just started doing random stuff in the game again. And I've still been trying very hard not to use the wiki pretty much at all. I used it a tiny bit for one thing, mostly because I didn't realize that I already killed one of the warrior dreams. So I thought I had to do something to unlock the certain warrior dream.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so I was I was trying forever and it just kept saying go to the area. But then I was like, I must have just killed it and just forgot.
Yeah.
But I played this fun game of trying to find any little tiny spot that was like a tunnel I didn't finish exploring at some point. And so I played that game for a while and ended up finding the Queen's Garden, which I didn't know existed. And it was the last area.
You missed literally an entire section.
An entire section I missed.
Well, I bet there's another one that you missed too. Did you?
I got the cartographer achievement, so I don't think so, but maybe.
I think it was part of a DLC. Have you been to where the bees live, like the hive?
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a new one. You don't have to do that. It's just like a fun little extra area and an additional boss battle and stuff. But it is pretty cool, and you get a pretty useful charm out of it. So.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now. So after going through the Queen's Garden, I was told by a nice partner over here he just said, you know what, honestly, you should just go kill Black Egg. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do it because I really wanted to do it, and I really wanted to see the end of the game. And so so I get into
the regular ending.
The regular ending, correct? Yeah. So I finished at 81% or 83%, I believe. But I get to the crossroads, get to the Black Egg. It's super eerie and creepy, which was really neat, and I was already zoned in because I like the Hollow Knight music instantly. I just zoned straight into the game, which I definitely appreciate. And I got to fight the Hollow Knight, which is a super duper fun fight. I kind of cheesed it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I just kept down bouncing on him. He literally I just destroyed him like that, actually. I did so much damage, and I honestly when he first died, it took me, I think I died once because I was at half HP when I fought him because I didn't think about healing. I don't know why. So that wasn't smart, but I think it was a second or third try and I killed him. It was pretty when I killed him it was pretty cheesy. But the music was really good. The character, I liked his design a lot, actually.
Hell yeah.
That was probably the thing I liked the most. It's just the actual, cool. He was a cool final boss to fight. And then so that I saw the ending. And so, this is spoiler alert in case if anyone else was playing at a horribly slow rate like I was. You defeat the Hollow Knight and the infection rushes into your character and it glows underneath your mask, and then the Black Egg closes and it's sealed, and you are now the knight holding in the infection from the rest of the world.
Yes, indeed.
Which is it's a cool ending. I actually like that a lot. It's very, I'm sure they did it on purpose. It's very Dark Soulsy. It's like a Dark Soulsian vibe. That's kind of it's just the end of the road for this character, really quickly, and it's not not that it ever alluded to being a happy ending kind of thing, but it's just the ending's very abrupt, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the game is so somber and there's so many dark themes that I really like, and after this I'm basically having Ryan do a few more things so that he can get a little bit more juicy lore and then unlock the true ending, and I really love what they do with the true ending.
Yeah, I'll have to so my only guess is that obviously something with the infection, it must be some way of maybe purifying all of the infection, or or maybe you I don't even know. Maybe it's a Final Fantasy X thing. You fight inside. I don't even know. I can't even think of anything. But it must be something with the infection. So I'm really curious. But yeah, so right now all I need to do is I really need to find Dream Essence. That's probably the biggest thing. And then you told me I need to talk to some specific person in the Queen's Garden.
In the Queen's Gardens, yep.
In the Queen's Garden. So that is pretty much what I have left to do, which I'll be working on.
Once you just finish exploring the rest of the Queen's Gardens, and once you do that, you will have talked to the person, because it's kind of
it's obvious,
yeah, you'll know, and I'm pretty sure there's a boss fight that you have to do to even get there. So, gotcha.
Oh, cool. That's always fun. I love the boss fights are everything in this game. It's so fun.
Yeah,
so fun.
Hell yeah.
But but overall, I definitely give the game a huge A+. It is definitely been a really, really fun game. And it's
Yeah.
like 100%, like when I'm playing it, I just get like super immersed, which is like a really big thing for me. Especially nowadays, it's like hard to do that with games. And they just
Yeah.
did it with just like the eeriness, like the echoing of his steps and like the rustling of the leaves.
Hell,
It's,
yeah.
like, all this stuff.
Everything.
Is, like,
It's so everything about that
it's
game
so
is so good.
entrancing. It's awesome. Yeah.
We're gonna go like super deep dive eventually once we do like once we both finish our homework games. We'll probably do some sort of like review episode.
We should do like a recap episode.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
my game that Ryan assigned to me was Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm playing the War of the Lions version on iOS. I basically just like, I think last update I was still like towards the beginning of chapter 4, which is the last chapter, and now I'm like halfway through chapter 4. A bunch of crazy shit happened. Like, obviously spoilers for anyone who's playing this game or wants to play this game.
But this game's 30 years old.
We had met up with Delita, and then 2 people we were looking for disappeared, and because they were going to battle or something, whatever. We go find them, and it's Count Orlando and Duke Goltana. Duke Goltana locks Count Orlando up because he thinks that he's like a traitor, and Count Orlando is like actually a normal dude. So we get there, Delita assassinates Duke Goltana, and then intentionally assassinates the fake Count Orlando, while we rescue Count Orlando from prison and escape with him.
Yep.
And like this was all planned, which was really cool to see that like Delita was like in on it with us.
Yeah, he finally joined too, which is nice.
So then meanwhile, like after that, you escape with Count Orlando, and Count Orlando's on your team, and he's an absolute fucking beast.
Dude, he is
so overpowered. It's crazy.
He is ridiculously overpowered. There's kind of like the game, it's depending on how you play it, gets kind of difficult. But like obviously it's a difficult game regardless, but like once you hit Orlando, it's kind of like, all right, this is a good cruise. Like you kind of cruise a little bit, which is nice.
Yep. Yeah, so I've just been moving along, and it's a bunch of plot stuff that's just unraveling really quick. Like right after that, you find like someone from the Order of the Southern Sky or something, and you find out that they released this sort of like spore poison into the air with the intention of it going downwind and basically landing on all of the Order of the Northern Sky, which is like the army that your brother is now currently. Well, it was Duke Larg.
Yeah, it
but
was
like,
Larg, but
your brother
Zalbag, right?
is like, yep. That's what happens right after this. Is like, there's a cutscene where like everyone's getting sick and dying because of the poison.
Yep.
Duke Larg gets sick, and your brother starts getting sick, and then your brother assassinates Duke Larg, and I was like, oh shit!
Oh my god, yeah, dude, everyone just starts getting, just becomes
everyone's just freaking killing people for, and then we meet up with that asshole guy from way back from chapter 1, that asshole like. The blonde
Argus
guy. Yeah.
Argus. Yeah. Oh my god, he comes back. Yep.
And he's being a shit. And then like basically where I left off, I had finished the most recent battle with what the heck are they called? Like the demon things. What are they called? The Lucavi.
The Lucavali or something like Lucavali, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a boss battle with them, and like I did it on my first try. It wasn't bad.
Good.
But yeah, so I'm there. I'm getting towards the end. I'm creeping my way there. I'm probably just gonna need a couple more, like maybe 2 or 3 more like lengthy play sessions, and I'll probably get to the end.
Chapter 4 reveals a lot of the plot. Like, as you're obviously discovering. Yeah. So, like, you'll, like, the first 2 chapters kind of, like, ramp you up for just, like, the style of the game. And then it's almost kind of like, it's just a kind of, like, prep work where it's like, all right, now you know how the game is, like, played. So now we're just going to give these kind of cool, like, challenge maps as it kind of goes along with the story, which is just cool. Which, like, I just wanted to share the story with you to begin with. And, like, obviously the gameplay, I like the strategy gameplay, which hopefully you kind of, like, have at least had some sort of liking to.
I definitely do like it, and we'll get into that even more when we do the review episode.
Yeah,
we'll give our like full disclosure opinions on them. But like, yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I think it's the meat and potatoes time, as we have always been saying.
Yes.
To dive right into the 2020 nominees. And so like Corey was saying before, we're going to kind of start, I guess just not the most coveted categories, but we're going to kind of get them out of the way on and just kind of give our opinions on the games that, we know, or at least can give as much of an opinion about anyways, and kind of, like what you think about it. There's a lot of repeats. So it'll be easier to go through some than others. So I'm looking kind of forward to it. So I think we wanted to start with best debut game.
Debut game, yeah.
So I only know one of these games in particular. So to start, anyways, for best debut game, which is for the best debut game created by a new independent studio, one is called Carrion, Mortal Shell, Raji, and Ancient Epic, Roki, and then Phasmophobia. And I only know one of those, which is Phasmophobia, which has been a really funny game to watch. I will not play it. I refuse. Outright refuse.
It's a horror game, right?
It is, and I don't watch it, but I've seen it a lot on my TV because my roommates watch it, and they like it a lot. And some of the streamers I watch are really funny when they play it. But it's a really cool game. I like the concept a lot.
Yeah. It seems horror games are always cool, and that's the same. I'm only familiar with two of these. One of them is Raji, and the other one's Phasmophobia. And I think those because those are the only two that I know anything about. Those are the two that I'm leaning towards predicting. Raji looked really cool. I think it's like an adventure game set in like ancient India or something.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
I like the picture. Already like the.
It has a gorgeous art style.
Cool. It does look really. I was just gonna say it looks really gorgeous.
So, what do you think? Does Phasmophobia do anything to like set itself above other horror games?
So I was gonna say like it's cool. Phasmophobia has this like real audio feel where like if you're far away, you hear their voice really really far away. And like things will be muffled, and if you like want to talk, you'll have to like talk through the walkie-talkie, and if your mic is linked to the game, so like when you're in a haunted area to talk to a ghost, you have to like say its name. You know what I mean? Like if you're playing, like if you're Ghost Hunters from like early 2000s,
that's spooky.
Like, so like you have to like.
Is there a spirit in here?
Yeah, you have to be like Elizabeth. What like are you here? Can't like you know what I mean? Like you have to literally act like you're in Ghost Hunters from like.
Make a fart noise if you're here.
But like, so you pretty much you have to kind of you level up and you like earn money, but you have to like buy equipment to make it easier to find the spirit. You have to identify what type of spirit it is, and to do that you like run a bunch of different tests within the haunted area. Obviously that makes it very scary, and like when a ghost tries to kill you, it's very scary. So I think it's pretty cool. Like, but that independent audio thing I've been seeing in like a couple random games, all of a sudden, like Minecraft is doing it now, where you like it's like all like distanced audio, which I think it's just like a cool, like more immersive type of thing. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's a really cool way. More games should do that. All right. So what's your prediction? What are you going with?
So I'm gonna go with I think Phasmophobia definitely has the most Twitch stream and like YouTube content that I've seen. I like that if I had to guess, because a lot of big people are playing it, so that's probably my best guess, just because people are probably in the same boat as us, where they've not seen a lot of these. Yeah. And they're just like, and they'll be like, oh, but I've seen like Markiplier play Phasmophobia, so I'm going to click on that.
It's very fair. I think you swayed me. There. I was going to go with Raji just because it looked like it was a really well-built game, but you're probably right. I feel like Phasmophobia is definitely going to get the, what's it called? The community vote. I feel like they'll definitely get like the people that are signing on to the Game Awards website and voting, like the public vote. So I'll go with you on that one. I'm going to say Phasmophobia too.
I think Phasmophobia is definitely my vote. I think we're going to keep track of this. And,
I am too. I'm writing them down.
Okay, good. I was going to say we should dish out points once this is done.
Yes.
See who wins.
Hell
because everything's a contest. Shout out to the Can game.
We can do like whoever loses, we'll do something. We'll do some sort of challenge thing. There has to be a punishment for the loser.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is kind of rough because we're like handshaking on a blank check, but a to-be-determined challenge. Yeah, we're going to skip content creator. So
we'll do best multiplayer. So this is for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. So for best multiplayer, the nominees are Animal Crossing New Horizons, Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, and Valorant. So this is a very interesting category.
This is a super interesting one.
These are multiple games that I've played, multiple games that I've watched. I know you've played Valorant.
Oh, I played everything here, but Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I played a lot of Valorant. I played a fair amount of Warzone. Played a little bit of Among Us. I've watched a lot of Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a decent bit of Fall Guys too. I played a little bit. I played like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah. So
it's a pretty fun game.
So hear me out.
Okay.
I know. Well, actually, I'm not sure. How big of a following does Valorant have in like the esports scene?
I mean, it transferred over pretty bigly. It's got there's still like a lot of big people that play it. I think it's like kind of gotten into its like spot. You know what I mean? Like obviously the spotlight's off of it, so now it's just kind of there. But
okay.
I mean, like big people play it still, like Shroud, Ninja. I want to say, I think right now I actually have no idea what the top game is on Twitch, but I think Warzone is beating Valorant in terms of stream.
Gotcha.
But if we're really going into that, I would honestly then like hands down, I think Among Us might win just because of the like.
You butt mush. I was just gonna say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think Among Us will probably win just due to the actual like hostile takeover that it's done on the internet.
Yeah,
is
huge.
Crazy.
It exploded. Huge. And what's crazy that I didn't even realize until recently, Among Us is from 2018.
Yep, exactly. It was literally like an unheard of game.
Yeah. Well, so they did announce recently that there's going to be an Among Us 2 coming out sometime in the future. I don't think they have like any release window or anything like that. But the reason I was going to say Among Us is because out of all these games, you know, COD and Valorant, they have their own followings. They're obviously very big, especially in the esports community. Animal Crossing was a phenomenal game, but the multiplayer it's not really up to snuff with these other ones because I feel like that's not really the main purpose. Or at least it's designed so that you can have your own completely solo experience with it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with that. I think
that's more of like a community thing rather than like a multiplayer gaming experience.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I guess the co-op aspect of like being able to see all of your friends' islands.
Yeah,
and stuff like
it's
that,
just
like,
traveling and seeing what other people have done, and that's cool. But
I agree. And also, it could be done better. I've seen like how long it takes to load into stuff. Like I personally haven't played, so I'm only seeing it from a sideline perspective. But like I've seen like how annoying it is sometimes with like how it works to join other people. So.
Yeah, it's a little sometimes it can be a little clunky. And then Fall Guys, it's like that also I feel like was very big for a time on streaming platforms and having like content creators playing it and stuff. And it looks like a hell of a lot of fun. But what I feel like what Among Us has that most of these ones don't have is that it's, first of all, it's incredibly accessible to literally anyone.
Oh,
second,
yeah,
a huge aspect of it is that they designed it so that you're supposed to actually talk with the people that you're playing with.
Yep.
It creates that, and that's where all the awesome memories and awesome content comes from, is the discussions that you have with the people that you're playing with. And I feel like that's such a really cool thing.
It makes the replay value infinite.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
Because every time you play with a different group of people, or you always get a new friend that plays, like there's always a really fun interaction that's going to come out of it.
Yeah,
like,
there's always someone new that's like, oh, it's my first time playing, I don't know how to play, and then they can use that to their advantage and like pretend that they don't know how to be imposter and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, Fall Guys would have been it if maybe we were talking about the month of October. Or like,
could have been,
or like probably a little bit earlier. But then, like all of a sudden, like Among Us, like
that's
even Among Us was going on, but
you mentioned
swept it.
Yeah, you mentioned replay value. I feel like Fall Guys doesn't have a ton of it. Like that's a game where like the whole point is that like you're playing a lot of these same levels and like you're just trying to get wins. But I feel like that's the kind of game where like it's really really fun for a pretty short period of time, and then after that, you're just kind of out of it.
It's a grind, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the grind mechanic of games has kind of died with like Fortnite, like not really being like the peak like attention for video games now. I think a lot of people are kind of tired of the battle royale, like you just it's the same thing and you win and you're just like grinding the same thing over
exactly
and over, and you're kind of like there's
got to be a little more to it
going out. I think that's kind of falling out of style a little bit.
All right. So fall Among Us for both of us then.
Yeah, Among Us for both of us.
All right, let's move on.
Hard voting Among Us. So this will be a quicker one because I only have one that I'm just going hard on. But this will be best sports / racing game. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing games, we have Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 21, NBA 2K21, and then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which is my instant vote. Oh my god, they brought back the game that everyone has like the same N64 memories of in their head. No?
I remember we were talking about it in the remakes and remasters episode. Did you ever hear anything about this? Was it any good?
Yeah. A lot of people like it. I think there's still a pretty decent following to it. Okay. Like they were saying, it feels like the old game, just like done up. Like they kind of like kept the same like ridiculousness that you could do in old Tony Hawk Pro Skaters. You know what I mean? Of like if you could just grind perfectly if you're good enough, or you get your balance good enough, and like do like funny things like that. And it's just like I think it's one of those things where I don't know how the online multiplayer is because there is that, so that might give like a lot of people like playing it. But to me, I'm sure once I played it once and I got that like that nostalgic vibe for a little bit, it would kick off.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure. I was going to go FIFA 21, but I feel like you might have also convinced me on Tony Hawk.
So the thing that I always just like complain about with anything like this is that so literally the other 4 games are all the same game series. It's just one newer. It's like a Toyota Camry.
That's true, but that never... I feel like that never stops people from consuming it like crazy. Like, people love FIFA. I don't know why. Everyone loves FIFA.
So, to me, I think something I like to look for is just, improvements on this type of game if you're going to keep doing a series. But, I just don't know what they would have changed personally.
Well,
I what if they improved? They just made the people look more real, or they changed, pretty much what it really is to me. I feel like it's just a patch notes change of the different players' stats.
Yes. But also, the one that you predicted is literally a remake.
You are not wrong, but it's my childhood remake.
Yes, that's true.
And this is also the second one, NBA 2K21. I'm pretty sure the first 2K was, I don't even know, it was 2K probably. You know what I mean? This is the
NBA 2K -5.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So,
I guess I'll go Tony Hawk as well. Then you convinced me. So these are our predictions, by the way. So at some point we have to divert from each other's opinions.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have best sim/strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. We have Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator,
I'm
interesting.
So lost.
And XCOM Chimera Squad. And I know literally none of these, so I'm just gonna say Gears Tactics. Just cause just cause it has the word Gears in it.
I'm hardcore voting for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and let me tell you why. Because clearly, unless there's only 6 games in this category and it only beat one thing, it clearly got voted in here, which means there's got to be something intense about flying a plane.
I mean, it's got to be a really fucking great Microsoft. It has to be a really great flight simulator, and if that's the case, why is it being nominated for Best Sim Strategy Game of the Year instead of being used as a training tool?
Because I feel like people are just missing flying so much that they bought a flight simulator and they just sat in their chairs for 6 hours doing nothing.
Guys, I flew back in July. You're not missing out. It's the same.
I'm hardcore going. I'm going Microsoft.
All right, Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's fine. That's your prediction. My prediction is going to be Gears Tactics.
A ridiculous choice.
Foolish. You can't even fly in that.
Okay, well, moving right along, because that was a riveting conversation of flight simulation.
Yeah.
We have Best Family, which will be, I think, a good category.
Yeah, I like
for the
this.
best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. We have Animal Crossing New Horizons, which we've talked about. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Minecraft Dungeons, and then Paper Mario: The Origami King.
So
Yeah.
Paper Mario: The Origami King was a fantastic game. I don't think that's gonna win.
Yeah, it's too soloed out. Like everything else is definitely a lot more family.
Yeah.
Like family means more than one person.
More
can play,
family
you know what I
friendly.
mean? Yeah,
Mario,
exactly.
Mario Kart Live, I feel like that's a novel concept and it's insane, but I also feel like it probably didn't have. I don't know how well it sold, but my guess is that it probably didn't have the biggest reach ever because it's pretty
Yeah.
dang expensive. Because you gotta like get the game and then like each like racer, like each cart is like, I don't know. I think it's like $60 or $70 or something. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
no, you're right. I believe it is, but like how like crude of Nintendo to assume we all have just nice big hardwood floors and like
Yeah, right?
ceilings to play fucking Mario Kart in my own house.
That's funny.
Do you know how many people are just living in their own little room that like
Yeah.
love Nintendo games? Like
That's so funny. Can't
Like,
do
good
this on my
God.
carpet, my broken
Yeah,
and ripped
dude,
up
exactly.
carpet.
Like, oh my god, my cat would destroy that card. Dude, that would be, imagine that gimmick. You think the Chain Chomp is scary on that one, like, Moo Moo Village card, like, track? Like, imagine my cat just out of nowhere just sidewinding. Oh my god.
And then Fall Guys, Fall Guys is a great game, but for some reason I don't really see it winning Best Family Game because I feel like that would be much more of a shoo-in thing for Best Multiplayer as opposed to Best Family.
I think so. I agree. I think so as well. I see the only thing I think though, because like now that I'm looking at a lot of these games, they're really the only one that really has like full, like multiple players can play aside from Fall Guys is Minecraft Dungeons. And then I guess Mario Kart, but you need to be super. You need to buy 4. Like, you know,
Well,
like,
I mean, Animal
I'm-
Crossing people can play at the same time. But I mean, this isn't even that. I don't think that's what this category is about. Is what I mean. I think it's more about like best family gaming experience, where like anyone in the family can play it, and it's like a stand. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
It's like a universal gaming experience, regardless of who you are. And for that reason, anyways, this whole thing has been a long-winded way of saying Animal Crossing New Horizons is 100% going to win this.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I want to vote for Crash because I love Crash Bandicoot. I haven't gotten it yet, and I really want to play it.
See,
but,
that's another one where it's like, it's literally called It's About Time, as if this has been something that has been anticipated for forever. And it pretty much has, because the last Crash game came out like forever ago. And this one came out, and I feel like I did not hear anything about it. Like, what happened?
They advertised like for a little bit, and then the second it came out, it did really kind of just like die.
Like, I don't know if it performed poorly, but I just didn't hear anything about it. So I'm kind of surprised to see it here, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I mean, I could see this like I can still see it as like a family game. Like I guess like nowadays, too,
Yeah.
like a lot of people that
for
play
sure.
Crash, like showing like their like children the game,
Yeah.
and like they can enjoy the wackiness, but like an adult could still easily play it because it's that old school platforming game. So if
Yeah,
you play
very
games,
true.
you can appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point. This is probably one of the one that ties generations together. That's kind of
Yeah,
also
most
like we were
definitely.
talking about in our remake and remaster episode.
Yeah.
About how like now there's people that are like our age and a little bit older that are introducing their kids to the new sequels to the games that they loved.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're really this is like the second generation of gaming now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
which is interesting. There is definitely a turning point for how games are.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. I think this is a long-winded explanation to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Is clearly I think I still have to vote for it. I like somewhere in the back of my head it's going to be Minecraft Dungeons because there's like Minecraft is like, just way too big of a thing. It's like an unknown Goliath of terms of a community.
Wait, so is that your prediction?
No, I'm going to go with Animal
You're
Crossing
going
New
Animal
Horizons.
Crossing?
I just
Okay.
like feel like it's going to be Minecraft Dungeons, and I'm going to like rue the day in a future podcast.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
well,
like, I knew it.
I think I think that's the main one that it's gonna be up against.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, let's move on.
Let's moving right along. We have the best fighting game, which I like the category, but I only like one game for fighting, so this will be hard anyways. So I do know a little bit about some of these, but we have Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, Under Night Birth EXE Late CLR. A lot. Okay. Super duper anime
Okay,
name.
whatever.
Yeah, the anime name just totally added a bunch of like file extensions.
Yeah, right.
Onto their name to make it sound cooler. So that's cool.
So what do you think about these? First I want to start. I have no clue what the hell the first one and the last one are, so I would just like to shoo them out of the conversation.
Blue, yeah. Okay, that's totally fair.
Okay.
Grand Blue is like a decent anime fighter, from what I know. I've never played any of them, so again, I can't like give like specifics on like the fighting style and stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, I played Mortal Kombat and I played Street Fighter before. Personally, I will like always think Street Fighter is like the ultimate OG fighting game. So like personally, I'm voting for Street Fighter. I kind of don't like that it's still Street Fighter 5 and it's not like a new one like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the Champion Edition. Like Street Fighter 5 is pretty old.
I remember when Street Fighter V first came out, there was like pretty big backlash because people felt like it was super incomplete.
Yeah, exactly. And so now this is the Champion Edition. Like, so this
From
game
what I
came
heard,
out in
at
2016. Yeah, you're right. This game came out in 2016. So like,
Yeah,
it was
damn.
the Champion. Yeah, it was the Champion Edition. Now, like, clearly they've like done a bunch of things to like make it an actual game. So like, is it fair to like now say it's a good fighting game? You like, it's like a little.
Yeah, I don't know.
not fair.
They're bending their rules, like having games from years ago, but like I don't know. It's whatever.
I agree. You're right. I mean, otherwise, like, I'm sure One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows. I'm sure, like, the big issue with it, like, usually most anime from TV show fighting games, not just like a generic anime style fighting game.
Yep.
The big issue is like the story is incredibly short because it's just going to be the first season of One Punch Man where you fight Boros at the end, and you could probably beat the story mode in like literally in 2 hours of playing because it's just going to be like 12 different fights and that's it. So that's always the thing that I don't like because like you can literally like you buy this game full price and then beat it in 3 hours and then never pick it up again.
Yeah.
That's usually how those games work, at least from my experience to almost any type of anime fighting game. So
Okay.
I'm definitely voting Street Fighter 5.
I'm actually going Mortal Kombat 11 on that one. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate.
Interesting. I don't speak wrong, but yeah, that's fine.
I've heard a lot about it, and they've been doing the really big like famous character additional fighters,
That is a good point.
like don't they
That is a
have don't
good
they
point.
I saw a meme that was like Mortal Kombat 11 is like Smash Bros, but if your dad got to pick the characters.
That's amazing. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Does it isn't it-
RoboCop? There's RoboCop?
Yeah, there's like Rambo. There's like isn't like friggin' Terminator in there?
RoboCop. So far I see the Joker, Spawn, Terminator. Yep. Oh my god, it literally is
Yep.
Terminator. That's so funny. No way.
Johnny Cage. Yeah,
That's
so
actually pretty funny. I
Yeah.
kind of like that.
that's I think they're just going kind of crazy on that. So I feel like I don't know.
Yep.
I'm going Mortal
You can
Kombat
get-
11.
you can get Rambo. Oh, I think it's a skin pack. No, it's actually characters. That's kind of
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. All right.
I'm still going for Street Fighter 5. So
All right. So that'll be a difference we have. All right. Let's move on. This one's best role playing game. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. And for this, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake, which we are going to see in many other categories.
many other categories.
Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Wasteland, is that 2 or 3?
3.
3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. So what do you think
Alright.
about this? Because I know you have opinions on Persona 5 Royal.
Oh, most definitely. First off, I just want to say I kind of like. I mean, I would personally just boot Wasteland 3 and Yakuza Like a Dragon into the Wasteland
Yeah,
Like a Dragon.
I would too. I think I did actually hear some good things about the Yakuza game, but I also don't
really? Oh,
have
okay.
enough to.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I feel like, I guess, so reading the description of the game, it's almost like cheating to say, because MMOs usually have, like, more customization to, like, because there's so many items and different things,
Yeah.
into it. out of all of these, I obviously have like a huge, super de-duper bias towards Persona 5 Royal because that game was phenomenal, and I cannot say anything better about the game without going into like a horribly huge rant of how good it is.
So is that your prediction?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I guess it just says with like rich player customization, like obviously like the story is like the same. Like a lot of these games are all like anime based or like Japanese RPGs, so it's like the story of these characters. So there's not a lot of customization to it because the story is like the characters are already set. So like I guess it depends on how it really is. I'm sure a lot of people are just voting for their favorite game in these things anyway. So like
for sure,
Persona 5 definitely for me is huge. I really don't like the fact that they put in an MMO into this game, into this title, just because like MMOs, their big drive isn't always the story. It's kind of how you play the game. It's usually a little bit more immersive in terms of how the combat system might be. But like role playing to me is about the story that you're role playing. You're putting yourself into the character and into whatever problem and issue that they have to overcome. Yeah. And so like Final Fantasy VII Remake, obviously huge, super huge anticipated game. And I'm going to say this a lot for the category. I personally think this is hard to rank because it like it's not a spoiler. I'm not going to give anything away because it's still a new game. But it's not all of Final Fantasy VII. You do not do everything.
Isn't it like only the first few hours?
It's pretty much, yeah. It's like the first disc, essentially. Yeah. And like also like there is something really interesting about the game due to the ending and how the game goes.
It's
like
different,
it's
right?
Yeah, like the changes they've made is different, and it's an interesting way how they do it. Like it's like it's like a weird. It's weird, but I like don't want to like quite say what it is.
Yeah.
But because the game hasn't fully come out, it's like hard for me to say like, is this the best? Like this really is just a part one, and like it's gonna be a really good game when all of it comes out. I can't wait for everyone to know like the fleshed out story of like Cloud and all these characters.
Yeah.
But it's like hard to put in there, and so for me, Persona 5 Royal is a full game. You will put hundreds of hours being submerged into these characters and the progression and the style of the story. So like to me that is hands down role playing.
Okay. I think I'm actually going to go Final Fantasy VII Remake on this one. I think this is going to be one of those ones where it just kind of ends up being the biggest game. I feel like this is going to be one where they're not really going to adhere very strictly to the description of the category.
Yeah,
I feel like they're just going to
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, it's just going to be the best role playing game, and I feel like for that reason, a lot of people are going to go Final Fantasy VII R. So that's my prediction.
That's fair. That's very fair.
All right. So next up, we have Best Action Adventure Game. For the Best Action Adventure Game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and The Last of Us Part 2. These all seem like games that are pretty dang cool. I've heard really good things about all of these games, and I'm kind of torn, to be honest.
I agree. I think this is definitely a big category. This is I think there's a couple that I could probably kind of like teeter away from my vision. Personally, I'm kind of focusing in on. I think this is another one that we talked about a lot. Ghost of Tsushima. It was like this kind of like on like it's kind of cool as the picture shows it. It's like on the wind kind of game. Like to me personally, I heard about it a little while ago, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, like a teaser. And then it finally came out, and it was like beyond beautiful.
Yeah,
it was like crazy. Like the stunning movie quality they put into the game is like actually insane. If you haven't played it, it's really, really phenomenal. It's a really cool. Again, like I always kind of put the category now like a Dark Souls kind of. Style game. It really obviously it's kind of what like led the series, and the game has apparently just a insanely real and traditional feel to the samurai, and which like a lot of there's a huge thing because Sucker Punch is a Western a Western game company, and they made this game, this Japanese, feudal Eastern Japanese game, which a lot of people supposedly like usually like frown upon, like doing something like that. Like now, like you'd want like a Japanese company to make like a Japanese type game like this. And a lot of people in Japan were like actually nodded their hats off. It's a huge game in Japan because they said of how real the traditions and how much research they put into making it feel like a Japanese
very
game
authentic,
company made the game. It's very, very authentic.
Cool. All right, so Ryan, Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know. I think you could be right. I'm not feeling very strongly on this category either way. I wish that my prediction, I think, is going to be Spider-Man Miles Morales.
I was gonna say that one's definitely the contender. I feel like that
Yeah,
one
people-
that kind of got like plastered on the PS5.
Oh
already,
yeah,
so-
people. Yeah, that's huge already. It's huge already, and it was very highly anticipated. And they had that whole confusion up front about like what it actually was. And now that it's here, I feel like people are just really content with it and are just loving it.
Yeah,
So that's going to be my prediction. My wish is that it's Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
I was gonna say I totally agree because
Yeah.
I know Ori is like a really good game and I love the artwork of Ori. a
So
lot.
that's on my list for sure. I want to play because some of them are available on Switch, so I'm definitely gonna pick those up sometime soon.
very nice. All right, so moving right along to the next category, we have Best Action. For the game for the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat, and we have Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, and Streets of Rage 4. And I personally have been playing a buttload of Hades, so I'm already like instantly going to be like favoring Hades. That game's kind of gotten me hooked because I'm like a secret closet Percy Jackson fan, and the whole Greek theme is literally pulls to my heartstrings. I instantly hooked. It's a very good game.
This is one that I remember hearing about, and then I didn't hear anything about it in forever, and now it's nominated for a bunch of categories, and I'm like, whoa.
It kind of became, it's kind of like an Among Us story where like I think a lot of Twitch streamers all of a sudden found the game, and like that's what kind of like because it's a cool roguelike dungeon kind of game where every time you try to escape Hades, it's a different pathway you take. It's like the same like areas you traverse through, but each room will be different. The enemies you fight will spawn differently. You get different rewards for clearing each room, so your build will change every time you try to escape. So that's like a cool thing. You can kind of like make all these crazy different powered styles with the different weapons and stuff like that, trying to get through all the bosses. The bosses are very hard, when you don't know what's going on.
So what is the combat like?
It's like if you played like Diablo or Path of Exile, it's kind of like top down style where it's like a hack and slashy, but like top down.
Okay.
And so like what's cool with the combat is so every time you clear a room, pretty much you start out at the bottom of Hades in Tartarus, and you go through a chamber, some enemies spawn. Once you kill them, you get a reward for clearing the chamber, and then you get like 2 or 3 exits showing the next chamber and the next chamber's reward. And so you kind of climb through each chamber. After a certain amount, you fight a boss, kind of like little checkpoints, and so pretty much each room you clear, you get an addition to your character's build. You pretty much get blessings from the different gods. So like you can get like a blessing from Zeus, and then your attack is charged with lightning. So every time you hit an enemy, like a little bolt of lightning will chain off of other enemies. So you kind of like start modifying your attack, and like it's cool because the gods work together. So like if you get a couple Zeus boons, and then you get an Athena boon, and then you get like another Zeus boon, you can get one where they work together, and it's a dual combined skill of lightning and like the goddess of wisdom. So like it's super cool.
Well, that's cool. So I'm predicting Doom Eternal.
Yeah, think so. That's fair.
No, I have heard some really, really good. Well, I think I just don't. I think it's just the fact that I haven't heard enough about it that I don't think it's going to be Hades. But I also might. I mean, it's here and it's been nominated for multiple categories, so I could be totally wrong. I'm going to go Doom Eternal just because that was a hugely anticipated one. And
that was a hugely anticipated one. And Doom is one of the Power Stone.
one of the classic action.
One of the classic
series.
genres or builds of games. I can't even, I'm trying to say, like genres.
Doom. All right.
But okay.
Let's go.
Moving along.
This is a cool category. I don't know anything about what any of these games did.
So, I mean, like, I'm down to skip this. This is kind of like, to me, this is a category, like, so just so you guys, it's innovation in accessibility, which is recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technologies, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So, like, I just don't know what they've done. I know, like, usually, I'm assuming it's probably something where you can, like, there's, like, a bunch of different controller mods you can do where, like, you can play if you, like I've lost like a limb or some digits or something like that. I really actually don't know, but I just wouldn't know anything until like I think this category is a little hard to vote on.
Yeah, so
I would just vote on Assassin's Creed because Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, we'll skip that one, but that is a really cool category. I like that.
I think so too.
I like that they pay attention
added
to that, and that that game companies are striving to make gaming more accessible, because that's something that's kind of been a pretty big downfall of video games.
Yeah,
sometimes
I agree. Yeah.
All right.
So the next, moving right along, with the next one we have is going to be Best Community Support, which is recognizing a game for its outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. So this is a big, kind of like how good the company is at really holding a good game, which I think is actually pretty important nowadays.
Hell yeah.
So
especially for games especially because now video games, it's like if there's something wrong with a video game, it can be patched relatively quickly,
exactly.
And consumers can let the company know just as quickly.
Yeah, very quickly, actually, too quickly sometimes.
Yeah.
But so the games are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Valorant.
What do you think about this one? Because these are multiple, Fortnite and Valorant.
Yeah,
that's your wheelhouse.
So I played Apex, I played a bunch of Apex, played a bunch of Fortnite, played a bunch of Valorant. Personally, I would throw Fortnite right out the window. Fortnite is not that good. Like Fortnite literally stopped giving patch notes for a very long time to the community because community was complaining so much about the patch notes that they kind of became stubborn children, and they literally just said, "Fine, we won't show you what changes anymore." So the community had to start making their own patch notes, which is. It is. I'm not sure if they've changed that, but it was an interesting time. So, like, I feel like I really would just kind of push them aside.
I feel like Fortnite got too big for their britches, where they really couldn't realistically be that great of supporting the entire community because there's so many fucking people. And at that point, it's kind of like you can't be 100% transparent. You kind of, as it gets that big, you kind of have to start, holding your cards a little bit closer to your chest.
That is fair. I think it was that's just one example, I should say. There obviously there's been a couple different things that were like kind of like milestones of like Epic not being good for Fortnite community, but otherwise kind of funny enough, like another little like funny story to this, like No Man's Sky. Like I remember when No Man's Sky first came out, it was such a ripoff in terms of they literally the way that they described No Man's Sky. I'm not sure if you were attracted by the hype of No Man's Sky. I fell for it. Like I got so excited to buy this game because they were made it seem this cool space exploring. You can literally they made it sound like you could explore so many planets that it literally felt like you were exploring your own actual universe. They made it seem like each planet is this unique, different world, and you're literally going to live like a Star Trek adventure. And then all of a sudden, it's just the same 4 planets with planet skins. There's an underwater planet with a water slug and this water fish, and then there's a weird desert planet with a desert slug and some weird thing that looks like a fish but in the desert, and you're like, all right, well, that sucks. But supposedly they made a huge comeback, added a bunch of stuff like they promised that they did, and the game actually apparently is really good now. I don't know how good it's continued to be, but I know all of a sudden it became it was bad and then now it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how many points they should get for that.
I agree. I think listen, I'm still personally hurt. Okay. So I just wanted to call them out on that. I would say, I think Valorant has done a really good job with their patch notes personally. Again, this is obviously looking based on what I know. I think Valorant has definitely been a pretty good community because they've had not a lot of issues with hacking and cheating. They've updated pretty frequently. They've hidden stuff in a decently, it's not been it's not like they're they've had really good reveals, I should say, for their characters and the new stuff they've done. I know Fall Guys has a huge issue with cheaters, for example, and they haven't really done much to try to patch hacking in the game.
Huh.
So I know there's a couple big things like that I've heard. I've heard Destiny 2 has always been kind of a solid ghost in the background of the spotlight of multiplayer games. It's just been pretty good still, just always around. And then Apex Legends actually has really good releases, in my opinion. A lot of their seasons, they introduce new things and they keep it really fresh.
Yep.
And they do a really good job at
like a new thing they've done because they've had so many seasons that now every 3 hours the map changes when you do random normals. So like because they've had different maps, so the map will kind of rotate and change. So you like a lot of times like you'll play a totally different map all of a sudden, and then you play for 3 hours, and then it's a different map again.
Yep.
So there's a lot more.
Kind of like
It
Splatoon.
spices up the battle royale a little bit better. So actually, me saying that, I actually am voting for Apex Legends. I think I actually like it a lot.
All right. Splatoon does that.
Oh, interesting!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So
What do you cast it?
I was unaware of the cheating issue with Fall Guys. That being said, I'm still going to go for Fall Guys. One, because from what I've seen, I do see them. I didn't know about the issue with cheating. I feel like that is something that's I feel like inevitably it's going to get addressed at some point. But I do see them adding a lot of stuff, like new rotations, new games, new little, things here and there. But the main reason that I feel like it's going to be them is because part of this is inclusive of social media activity, and I feel like they have one of the best social media presences I've ever seen of a game company with a popular game out there. They are,
oh, really? Oh, actually, I haven't looked at much of their social media.
They are hilarious. I follow them, and I haven't played Fall Guys ever.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're
Okay,
so
wow.
funny, and I feel like they do such a good job of actually like bolstering the community around the game and making it so that people are, building up interest in the game, building up interest in playing the game, building up interest in streaming the game, stuff like that. And they're actually like very active in like responding to people and stuff like that. So I feel like that's a big factor for me. So that's why I'm.
Yeah, that's
my prediction.
That's good information to back it up with. I respect it. I'm still going with Apex Legends, but I respect it.
All right, let's go. Let's move on. Next one is Best Mobile Game. For the best game playable on a mobile device, you got Among Us, you got Call of Duty Mobile, you got Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, and Pokemon Cafe Mix. There's no Pokemon Cafe Mix is not going to win this. I don't know why
I didn't
it's
even know
here.
that existed.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not. It's just another thing that they just shoehorned in because they were like, "Hey, have some more Pokemon." I don't
buy it.
exactly.
Buy it. Yeah. Definitely no on Pokemon. I agree. I think this is an instant toss up between Among Us and Genshin Impact.
Same.
Especially, I mean, honestly, I think I get that Genshin Impact is on mobile, but almost every big streamer plays it on computer because it's free on computer. So like, it's kind of cheating to say because like, pardon me, Genshin Impact plays pretty well on your phone, not gonna lie, but like any of the end game content and stuff like of fighting an actual raid boss and trying to move around, you can't make a phone game feel comfortable to do like a raid boss of an MMO. Just trust me, like it doesn't work. Like this one actually does a decent job at it, but like compared to the comfort and the fun of Among Us and getting anyone to play on a mobile phone, like I would instantly throw this to Among Us.
So you're going Among Us. I'm going Among Us as well. Yeah. I feel like just with with games like that, especially like games with Genshin Impact, where it performs relatively well, but the bulk of the performance is on an actual console. I feel like you can't really win best mobile game if it's not notable for being a great mobile game. If it happens to be a really good game that is also available on mobile, I feel like that's not really the same thing. That's like saying Fortnite is the best mobile game.
Yeah, exactly. And like also to defend the little bit of Among Us, because technically Among Us is the same thing we play on PC.
Yeah,
the game is all about talking, so it's just more about the communication and like the fun of it, and like you can talk, you can do like the chat and everything like that.
Well,
so
but that's what I mean is that like even though Among Us, it's I feel like there's a huge percentage of people that play Among Us that are playing on their phones because it's free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, it's only $5 on Steam, but yeah, it kind of stinks that it. But yeah, it is free on the phone, which is awesome. Same with Genshin Impact, but yeah, it's free and it's super easy. Like, especially if like being in quarantine, being alone, it's a good fun thing to do with your friends, like on a voice channel, and you like kind of feel like you're just like sitting in a lunchroom again with your friends.
Yep. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, so we have a best indie game. Sorry, it's my turn. Which is going to be for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. So, again, best indie. Yes, that's a very good description of an indie game. We have in this title or category is going to be Carrion again, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Hades, Spelunky 2, and Spiritfarer, which I like the picture of a lot for Spiritfarer. But obviously, I'm already instantly going for Hades. Hades did a great job. Top tier game. Carrion is now in 2 games, so I got to give it a little bit more respect in the back of my head. It seems like an interesting Samus Metroid style game. And then there is Fall Guys as well. Fall Guys, obviously. I think Fall Guys might win, but I personally am voting Hades still because I'm just going to support Hades.
Yeah.
So I'm voting for Hades. I think on what I said before, just a really, really good game. Story's very, very good. Like
really well-built game, yeah.
Yeah, very well-built game. And honestly, like it's in a lot of other categories for a reason. Like some of the music and stuff I'll talk about later. Very good.
I think this is one of the only categories that Spelunky 2 was up for. I'm pretty sure I've heard that Spelunky 2 was very good. But it's a toss-up for me between Fall Guys and Hades. Because I don't know what it is about certain categories. I feel like they have certain connotations behind them, which make me think that ones are more prone to win over the others. And this is like best indie game as in the entire game. So I feel like I think I'm going to go Hades just because I feel like it's probably overall a better, well-rounded video game than Fall Guys is, even though Fall Guys might be more popular, might be in the spotlight more right now, or was at least. But I feel like this category, it's more kind of looking at the game as a whole. So for that reason, I'm going to go Hades, just based on what you've said.
Incredibly valid. I like it.
So this is something that's it goes back to best community support somewhat. This is best ongoing. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. For this one, we have Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. And you kind of already touched on a lot of what some of these games have done. You said that Destiny 2 has always been pretty solid. Apex Legends is always good. Obviously, Fortnite has their different. They have their seasons and whatever. No Man's Sky, you said that they had apparently a huge fix that added a bunch of stuff.
But they flopped hard. Yeah. And can you forgive the man that messed up a belly flop that bad? No, you laugh at him. Yeah. You laugh at him. You get him out of here. I would definitely. Personally, I think I kind of want to put it up to Call of Duty on this one. I think just because I think it's it's hard to. First off, I think my one comment I want to make on best ongoing is that I feel like all the other categories now should only be for new games that came out, considering that there's an ongoing category. So I kind of don't like how they're in other ones too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's kind of dumb that they have a best ongoing category and all the other ones apparently aren't ongoing. Well, you know what I mean?
They came up. Best ongoing is a relatively new category. It only came out, I think.
It is, yeah, that's true.
I think it only came out 2 years ago in response to Fortnite winning Game of the Year in a year when it wasn't.
Yeah,
it didn't release.
Right. I think it's one of the things that's hard to compare this to is that I think as a game as a whole that has been running, I think Call of Duty it was probably winning, but also because it's one of the newer games out of this list, so it's kind of hard to say Call of Duty. I think has only 6 seasons now where Apex is on its 10th and Fortnite's on its 25th. So there's been good seasons and bad seasons of Apex and Fortnite, or Call of Duty I think has been pretty consistent overall. I think there's one really, really busted season with a certain I think sniper shotgun combo or something like that, but they patched that relatively quickly. And so I kind of want to chalk it up to Call of Duty, but at the same time, you could also just say Fortnite's been the oldest running game out of all these, and it's still very, very big.
It's still coming out with new stuff.
Ongoing, it literally through all of Marvel. It literally,
that's crazy. That's nuts. It's disgusting. I hate it, but
you play as Blade, a Blade with Kylo Ren with Batman. Are you kidding me?
I hate it, but. Props to them, I guess, for getting to do that. Because I'm sure people are eating it up,
Yeah,
So that basically because of that, I'm gonna go Fortnite. That's my prediction. Just because I feel like people do not stop eating up that game.
I don't know any of these games.
We can skip this, but we'll mention it. It's Games for Impact. We just don't really know much about these games. It's If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, and Through the Darkest of Times. The only one I've heard of is Spiritfarer, and it's a cool concept. I think it has something to do with, like, I don't know, transporting spirits to the overworld or something like that. I don't know. But I do, I really love this category, and I wish I had an opinion on this, but I just don't know these games that well.
Yeah, I think a lot of these games are like very, very almost purely story driven. Like a lot of times it's kind of like almost like an interactive movie almost, if I remember correctly.
Well,
I believe that's what Tell Me Why is. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that the reason I love this category because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Celeste might have been up for this and might have even won it. And it's like one of those. Oh, maybe. It's like one of those things where like I love when video games have an actual message, more than a message, something that's meant to, you know, make a difference in someone's life. I think that's really sick. That's awesome.
I think so. I think so as well because like you know games are a really good outlet to like it's just a good outlet in general to express yourself. You know what I mean? To like when you feel lost, when you feel down, when you're mad, like you know you can play a game, and especially certain games like we had to have our own childhood impactful games that you would like that have like 100% molded me as a person. Like there are definitely like you know like morals that like and lessons that I've learned through the flaws and the tragedies of the characters that I've played and like the stories I've like watched, you know, and it's cool that people have now made games to do that. Like I think it's kind of cool. You can really give a more meaningful impact when you have that intention, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's just awesome seeing that this is, you know, gaming has taken on such an art form that you can do this kind of stuff now.
Yeah, big props to games in general for that.
All right.
Okay, so we have the best performance for the Academy Award, for the Game Awards, awarded to an individual for voice acting, motion, and overall performance capture in the game. So for this, we're going to have Ashley Johnson as Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2. We have Laura Bailey as Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. We have Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai, or Saiki, in Ghost of Tsushima. We have Logan Cunningham as Hades in Hades, and we have Najee Jeter as Miles Morales. And so so personally, I've only played Hades, and dude, Hades is awesome. His voice, the guy's voice is like really good, and like so obviously that's the only thing I can talk about. But the cool thing with so the premise of the game is you're the son of Hades, you're Prince Zagreus, and your goal, you are trying to escape the underworld to leave Hades and join the other Olympians. That's the premise of the game. And so your dad, dear old dad, he kind of is, he's just running the underworld, and he almost just doesn't care. He's like, you fool. And like he has this amazingly like deep, like godly voice, like the presence and power he has, and he just kind of like, and he just like, he's this like really good, like he's this disrespectful dad where he's just like, like my vagabond son, like, oh my god, you lazy kid, like why don't you just give up these childish games and join me in running the underworld? And you're just like, and you want to escape. And so he has all these really good lines, and like whenever you die and you rejoin, you kind of have to walk past his like desk, his like administration desk, and you can talk to him, and he kind of will just like almost like make fun of you, or almost like just like kind of like, it's just like really good. Like if Hades was your dad, like it's this cool kind of like overbearing father that you like want to defeat, and it's just they did a cool job of it.
So that's your prediction?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to win personally, because I think definitely in this it's the only real animated not taken from, like it's only voice acting. There's no motion and performance. So like personally, it's probably going to be I think it's going to be Last of Us, one of the Last of Us characters, because that story is like supposedly very, very impactful. Yep. But I'm not a big fan of Last of Us Part 2, so I don't want to vote for them.
So your vote is Logan Cunningham?
Logan Cunningham, right. My boy.
I think I'm stuck between Najee Jeter and Ashley Johnson. Because I know I heard a lot of stuff about Ellie in Last of Us Part 2. And I know that I feel like Last of Us Part 2, it was nominated for multiple things, multiple categories, and I feel like it's not going to win a lot of them because it had a pretty abysmal user score. It seems like that's one of those ones where it's highly critically acclaimed, but the actual consumer is like completely split
Not
on
a
it.
fan. Yeah, not a fan.
But I feel like performance, I feel like that's not really something that you can, like, if you didn't enjoy the game, I feel like most people that I've heard that didn't like it, it wasn't for the performance or anything like that.
Yeah, you're right. It's like it's hard to. It's not fair to the actress.
Yeah, you can't really challenge the integrity of a performance because you didn't like the game.
I agree. You are right, and like actually that's a very, very fair point. Very valid.
Well, so I think I'm gonna go Ashley Johnson as Ellie.
Okay, respectable. So going into it next, we have the best audio design. Actually, no, sorry. You go. Sorry, my bad.
So going next, we're going to have best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. We have Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil. Why am I having such trouble reading this? Is that 2 or 3?
3.
Okay, Resident Evil 3 and Last of Us Part 2.
So what do you think of Boomer Eyes?
I'm thinking Last of Us Part 2 or... Well, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, or Doom Eternal. I feel like those types of games are ones that are very prone to have really good audio design. Like high action ones and or like Last of Us Part 2's got some suspense stuff in it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right on that. I mean, I know Doom's just got some really, like, I know Doom's kind of got, like, iconic audio things.
Yeah.
Like, I think in this one there's, like, a lot of heavy metal, which is awesome. Like, just, like, guitar riffs and, like, you're slaying demons, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know, like, I mean, for me, like, best audio design, like, I've heard Ghost of Tsushima actually is, like, really, like, everything they did was so realistic. Like, when you, like, walk through tall grass, you can, like, hear the wind rustling different.
Well,
like,
that's why,
like rustling
from
everything.
From the type of game Ghost of Tsushima is, it seems like something where they would pay a lot of attention to those details.
Yeah, I agree. I personally think I'm going to vote Ghost of Tsushima for that. I know I heard a lot of really good things about what they did with just like how almost everything about the game. So
I'll go.
I kind of want to put it to them.
I'm going to go with you on that. I'm also going to do Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice, high five. All right. Next, sticking with the audio, we have best score and music for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and /or licensed soundtrack. And this we have Doom Eternal, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake, we have Hades, we have Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and we have The Last of Us Part 2. Now, this is hard because I personally I know Ori has a really good soundtrack.
Yeah,
if I remember
I've
correctly,
heard that as well.
From what I've heard. Hades has a really good soundtrack as well. One of the cool things is there's this really two of the characters that you kind of like talk to throughout the game are these two Greek tragedy characters, Eurydice and Eurydice and somebody else. I can't remember his name right now. I'm so sorry, person. But it's this cool one of them's a court bard and he's like lost his song and his like muse, and his muse is this other person that's also passed away in the underworld, and you meet her later on and she has this beautiful song. So what's cool is when you meet her for the first time, you're like, it's this like pause in the action, there's like no monsters to fight, and there's just this beautiful woman singing the song, and the way that they like put it in headphones especially, it's like really enchanting, and it's like really, really nice. It's like apparently a lot of people really appreciated it, like that specific iconic song, which is something I wanted to like add for Hades. But I'm actually voting for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I am too,
because they did an insane job at doing this nostalgic mix of all of the old Final Fantasy VII
Yeah.
songs, but putting these cool twists of these different genres of music, like doing like the victory theme, I think in like a salsa tango music, and it's so good. And like half of like the fun collectible part of the game is you go to these different little areas and you'll hear a song playing on the radio or on the jukebox, and then you can buy the song for like a little bit of gil and then have it, and you can listen to it whenever you want. It was a really cool throwback, and all of the music was like expertly redone.
Yeah.
And like it gave you such a good vibe and feel, but they like made it so much more powerful. Like, oh, they did an incredible job. And Japan is known for how good their music is.
Oh, yeah,
Final
of course.
Fantasy is obviously one of the cornerstones of that. So
Yeah,
like
Final Fantasy VII is one of those
definitely
classic soundtracks that everyone just, I know some of it, and I haven't played Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII. And that's just one of those ones where it's so iconic. Having a remake of this caliber and of this quality, I feel like there's, they were bound to do a great job redoing some of these iconic songs. And, for that reason, for the clout that it has behind it and the nostalgic factor, I'm going to go Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Awesome. Alrighty.
All right. This is a cool one. Best Art Direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. We have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I don't think it's The Last of Us Part 2.
I don't think so. Either.
Hades has cool concept art. I haven't seen what the actual game... Well, no, I think I have, but is there anything about it that makes it stand out?
It's kind of like, I mean, it's a weird mix of like, it's a little bit more like, when you really look at some of the images, there's a lot of like shading and detail work to like some of the stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a weird, like adult, thicker black line Hercules. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously with like the Greek gods, but like that's the style that it is.
I feel you.
So like, which I actually think is really good. Personally,
is it like graphic novel Hercules?
Kind of, yeah. Honestly, yeah. That's actually, it's like perfect. It's like, yeah, graphic novel Hercules. But I would say, I think it's either going to be, I honestly want to vote Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I feel like probably popularity wise, it won't win it, but like I almost always like, I mean, I just like the ethereal color scheme. And I knew from the first Ori game that like that was one of the things that like it was like this, like it was literally like you were playing on this like watercolor painted beautiful image.
I think I don't even think it's a matter of popularity thing. I feel like this is just like it'll stand up on its own merit. I think I'm going Ori and Will of the Wisps just because it's so. Yeah, I think it's undeniably stunning. Like the color scheme is vibrant, but it's mixed together incredibly. Like the whole game looks like a beautiful art piece. The animation is fantastic. Yeah, exactly. They do this like crazy thing with the animation where it's like this strange mix between like typical 2D animation and almost like realism or something. And then they do fantastic lighting effects and stuff. And it's just it's a fantastic game to look at. So I'm going Ori.
Yeah. A total agreement.
All right.
Alrighty, so we have the best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. We have 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. So we're kind of getting into one where it's like all the same things, except for 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, which I'm also just going to instantly sweep away.
Yeah,
because
I don't even know what that is.
That's, I think George Kamitani definitely just paid to get onto this award.
Sorry, George.
Sorry, George. Personally, so again, kind of my gripe with Final Fantasy right now is that, like, it's hard to say because the story's not done. But and also the story, what the big thing they did in the narrative of Final Fantasy VII Remake, it kind of has some of the community pretty torn. Like, some people don't like what it is. It's like, I think what it is, it's kind of mostly just like a really hardcore stubborn fans like just want it to be an exact HD clone update, you know what I'm saying? Like, I actually really like what they did because they're doing a good job of it so far, I should say. As long as it continues to be a good job of it and they do a good job at like fleshing the universe out and making it this like whole world and really big story, because I don't know what's going to happen now. You know, I'm still pretty hooked.
Yeah, I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is in such a peculiar position because it's like, if it was just a complete HD faithful 1-to-1 remake of Final Fantasy VII, I feel like it still probably could have been put up for this category, but it's in such a peculiar position that it chose to change what it did and take things in a different direction that I feel like it's almost self-aware of the fact that of what the expectations of the player was going to be, because I feel like they assume I feel like part of it is that they kind of assumed that the player would already know how Final Fantasy VII, the original, kind of plays out.
Yeah, or at least have some idea of what Final Fantasy VII is.
Yep. So I think that's pretty unique that they took like that classic story and kind of played with the player's expectations, but also I'm kind of torn between that and Last of Us Part 2, because I know that's definitely a pretty character heavy and character driven story type game, right?
That is very true, and that was also like a very highly acclaimed story,
Yeah.
when the first Last of Us came out, and so, again, like, I guess I think that one is going a little bit towards how the users felt about the game, though. So,
Okay.
with the narrative, I believe there's a couple things that people were really upset about. I actually don't know super duper specifics, but I know there's a couple twists to the story in the game that people were kind of like, "Are you kidding me?" too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So personally, I'm definitely going with Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. Final Fantasy. You don't think it's going to suffer for just being a partial story?
Nah, I think fandom's just going to carry it through. I think because when you really say best narrative, like when you just slap the Ferrari logo that is Final Fantasy VII on a narrative story for a video
pretty
game,
true.
I'm sorry, I think it's going to carry.
But
But
you know what?
13 Sentinels Aegis Rim though.
I'm really struggling with that one.
It's hard to put it
I
down.
think for the sake of having a different opinion, I think I'm going to go Last of Us. I think that's the public vote does factor in, but I feel like that's something that critics will be able to kind of agree on for the most part, whereas I feel like the fact that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a remake in and of itself, I feel like that kind of puts it a little bit at some sort of disadvantage, somewhat. So for that, I'm going to go Last of Us Part 2.
That's okay. I like it. I like the thought process at definitely. It's a good evidence.
This one, we're starting to get into the big ones.
Yes, you definitely started to get into the major categories. So
here we have Best Game Direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. We have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghosts of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and The Last of Us Part 2. What do you think?
So, again, it's hard not playing all the games. Game direction, I kind of want to throw it up to Hades.
Interesting.
Because I actually, no, honestly, I think I think it's just current Ryan bias.
Well, so
game
direction.
I'm actually Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy
Okay.
VII. Well, Final Fantasy VII.
I think that might be where I'm leaning to. But I feel like game direction is such a, I don't know, it's kind of hard because it's very all encompassing, Obviously it has to do with the actual direction of the game, but there's so many different elements that come into play with that. Like it's kind of just how the entire game is presented, pretty much. And I feel like Ghost of Tsushima probably has some really powerful stuff there, but I'm kind of torn between that and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think overall those are probably the two closest ones. I mean, maybe Last of Us Part 2 could be kind of like a dark horse in the context of this. I personally, again, I guess knowing what they're doing, I like the creative change to Final Fantasy VII Remake because they for what they changed, like it's a creative way to, to take a story that people know or they're expecting to know,
Yeah.
and changing it in a very good, complete way is very
That is
creative, to be
creative.
fair. And it again, like I'm gonna keep saying it, but it almost stinks because we're kind of on this weird cliffhanger. It's like hard, like if it totally flops, everything I'm saying is garbage. But if it's as good as what it seems to be, like it really is a really good game.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go Final Fantasy VII-R as well. I feel like that's
I think so.
just
I'm going for it.
just the nature of it being such a successful remake as well, but doing so many things differently and just adding stuff. I don't know. I feel like it kind of puts it at a different level, partially because it already has the fantastic basis of Final Fantasy VII to work off of, but that also kind of provides them with kind of level footing so that they can take off with a really cool vision.
Yeah, definitely. I see what
As
I see what
opposed
you're
to
saying.
trying to build something from the ground up.
Yeah. Moving along, and this actually this is the final category.
Here we go.
We're here.
The big one.
We are here. This is for the game of the year. We're recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So everything we talked about, all wrapped into one. You want to read them off, Corey?
Sure. We have Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and The Last of Us Part 2.
And Fortnite is the winner. Congratulations, Fortnite.
Once again.
Once again. Oh man, this is so. With everything we've talked about,
Mhm.
over this little journey that we've gone on about these games, I personally, I think I don't. Again, everything hinges on how good Final Fantasy VII Remake could be as a whole,
Yep.
and that's what's so hard to do right now. I personally want to give it to Ghost of Tsushima. I think those people worked so hard on something that it almost like it's a genre of a type of era in history, but it also there isn't a huge game that I like that that is like an icon to that genre yet. Like there's a lot of samurai games, but like to me this could be one of those games that like the next time they make a samurai game they'll be like, is it like Ghost of Tsushima? Was it as good for it? And I think as a game as a whole, I think it's a really, really important thing to me where they just did such a strong job at making like a beautiful game. The combat was difficult, the story was compelling, and you got into it, but it was overall like it was just a good experience. Again, it delivers the best experience to me. Like Final Fantasy VII, there's in the end for the experience, a lot of it. The game is all about the story. Like the fighting is cool, but the stuff in between the fighting and getting to the bits of the story, it's the same thing. It's you run to an NPC, you talk, you mash through some little dialogue. Cloud says something either emo or witty or emo witty, and then you get to the next part. You fight some enemies along the way, and then it gets to these really, really good movie cutscenes, which is why you're playing the game to appreciate the story. But in terms of playing it, it's like sometimes I think I'm just trying to get to points so I can see the next cutscene, and those parts feel off to me. And I think from what I've seen of Ghost of Tsushima, and it's hard to say without playing it as much, but from what I've seen and how it is, I think there's a lot less of that. I think it's you're into it the entire time.
Okay, so you're going Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
All right. I like that. I like your logic behind that. It does really seem like a very well-rounded just gaming experience in general. I'm
Come on, Nintendo.
I gotta
fanboy.
do it. I gotta do it.
Come on,
I'm
Nintendo
going
fanboy,
Animal
yeah.
Crossing New Horizons.
All right, it's been a great podcast, guys. I'm just gonna part ways.
You
now.
know what? I don't. It's up against some very stiff competition, and I don't think I would contend to say that Animal Crossing New Horizons is a better game than some of these games up here. But I feel like Animal Crossing New Horizons is the video game of 2020. Animal Crossing New Horizons was an absolute smash hit. It's the best in the series by far. It's still relevant today. They're coming out with new updates every month with completely new like content and things that you're able to do in the game. I don't know if you remember when the game came out, but it seemed like my Twitter feed was entirely dedicated to just seeing what people were doing on their islands, what cool, neat little designs they come up with, whether it was their clothes or whether it was how they arranged their bedroom or whether they, friggin' designed their island to replicate a specific thing from another video game. Like, that's what I did. I completely took the time to carve mine out, and it's basically like a miniature version of the Kanto region. And I took the time to move all of my villagers' houses to where the gyms would be, and I designed
awesome. Oh my
designed like little cities, and obviously it's not perfect because it's not one-to-one, but the fact that just having the ability to do the things you can do in that game, it just creates such a unique experience for the person playing the game, because you can come to Animal Crossing New Horizons for so many different things. There are people that go on to do multiplayer stuff and to go play with their friends and go check out their friends' islands. There are people that go on to do almost like a Minecraft creative sort of experience where they just kind of like try and build their island the best way they can. There's people that just try and, collect as many furniture options and get all the DIY recipes and stuff like that. I just feel like there's so much in this game to keep you coming back for more. And this game, do me a favor. Can you look up right now what the current sales numbers are for Animal Crossing New Horizons? Because it sold like friggin' hotcakes. The game has sold over 26 million copies to date.
That's insane.
It is insane. That's a ton. And
it met its lifetime sales prediction as early as May of 2020. Yeah. That's actually crazy. Yep. In 2 months, its lifetime sales prediction. That's
exactly.
Nasty.
It's huge. It's one of the best selling, if not the best selling Switch game already.
That is pretty incredible.
And it's
that's a very valid.
I feel like the reason that I feel like this game, because as we all know, everyone is struggling with COVID right now in some way or another. People are stuck at home. Some people, it's affecting like their personal lives and shit like that. And this game hit at the exact right moment where people were just starting to, the first big peak was happening in the United States. Everyone was in ultra panic mode, and everyone was starting to cope with the fact that they were going to be working from home or quarantining in their own house for an extended period of time. And then this game came out, and then fucking everyone bought it. And it was like an instant way of like having so many, like this one game in itself has so many different outlets for dealing with like what's happening in the world right now. And I just feel like that's why in any other year, I feel like this would not have performed as well. I feel like it wouldn't even be up for Game of the Year. But I feel like because of the circumstances, that's why I'm going with Animal Crossing New Horizons.
That's such a good point, because it did come out at the perfect time. It really was this kind of like, to add on to what you said, my Twitter, which is just only full of Smash Bros content,
yeah.
Literally all it had for like a good 2 months of it coming out was just straight Animal Crossing stuff. Yep. And I don't play the game. I jokingly make fun of it all the time to annoy my fiance, and it just to make fun of it. But I was so into it, like looking at stuff and seeing, and I will totally appreciate and respect all of the design and the work and the creativity to make, like, Jess showed me, somebody did the Persona 5 main theme song on the instruments in Animal Crossing, and she was like, you don't understand, when you just press the button once, it does a random note. So, like, to get everything to sync up in the right way, to find all those notes, to do that, like, that takes some effort.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? To,
definitely.
Like, to theme all that out and everything like that, like, that's crazy. And I definitely respect it. I think for me, like I put a huge stock into like how much effort it takes from the game development as well. Not that Animal Crossing isn't, but I feel like a lot of its stuff is like built on like a pretty like a base level of Animal Crossing things. So like, you know, again, that's just like why I'm going for Ghost of Tsushima.
That's part of the reason why I feel like this is far and away the best in the series, because there's just so much stuff you can do in this that just isn't in other Animal Crossing games. It's just like, I feel like it's a totally different experience, because I've always been an Animal Crossing fan. I've played every Animal Crossing game, and I've played each one for a long time. And this one, I've easily put in the most time. The Animal Crossing New Horizons is my second most played Switch game behind Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
wow.
More than Smash
That's
Bros.
Impressive.
More than Smash. And I played a lot of Smash. I definitely didn't play nearly as much as you, but I definitely played a lot of Smash.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say so. But yeah, I mean, but you're right. That just goes to show, like, I don't even know how many dozens or hundreds of hours that Jess has to Animal Crossing. She's played a lot as well. You know, it's grabbed a lot of attention, and it's held attention. You know, it's obviously a very fun game to play. So, you know, and good luck to any of these games. Like, obviously all of these games are very good. Yeah. You know, I think any of them make sense to, you know, they have their own rights to claim Game of the Year. But we're just going to have to wait and see. I think it'll be interesting to see how our predictions pan out once we get to the very end. So. Definitely.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to us, guys. I think it's time to wrap it up now. Well, if you guys have once the Game Awards come around, we're going to tally this up, and we're going to see who lost. And if you guys have any suggestions for what the loser has to do, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Any crazy little things that we could probably do, you know, I guess through the medium of sharing with a podcast. I guess we always should just post a little clip somewhere as well of whatever it is. So that'll definitely be good. We could maybe just do some, I don't even know, we could do maybe a hot sauce thing.
That's true. We could do that.
I have some hot sauce.
We could do that Hot Ones gauntlet.
Oh God, a gauntlet! Listen, I just think it's just like a drop of something, and just like and then I die, and haha, it's real funny. Because listen, all I'm saying also, if I lose by 1 point because of Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm going to be really upset.
Turns out it wasn't as good of a simulator as you thought.
I will lose my goddamn mind if I lose by 1 point because of Microsoft Flight Simulator.
We stayed pretty much the same on a lot of them, but there are a few key ones where we kind of went different.
Where we verged, yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. Ryan, where can they find you at?
You can find me across almost every social media at Shadowhawk SSB. Shadowhawk with an E at the end. SSB for Super Smash Bros. You know, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. You know, hopefully once I have my house fully lived in and I'm living in it, I'm going to have a nice room. I'm going to be streaming like the Dickens. I'm super excited to start grinding again. I know I've been saying that for so long, but now that I have the house, like I keep feeling like that's just the end to my thing, is that I'm going to stream soon, but I'll actually have a room to do it. And so I swear I'm going to stream soon. As you know, but otherwise feel free to see me on Twitter. You know, that's a lot of times where I'm usually am for social media. Art is am. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And you can find me at Corey Richmond on Twitter, at Corey Richmond6 on Instagram, and you can follow us at Player Power Pod on Twitter. Feel free to, tweet at us, give us a like on whatever you're listening to this on, give us a heart, a favorite, some sort of positive affirmation, whatever. If you have any questions or any suggestions or any criticisms or anything at all, really, feel free to reach out to us. We love feedback.
Let us know. We like the communication, and tell us what what you think your nominations were. Maybe you totally think that 13 Ages game is the best narrative ever, and I will tell you that you're wrong because you're the only person that played it. Probably your dad made it, but it's okay. I'd love to hear it. I want to know that you're listening, and so let us know what you guys think. Maybe it is Animal Crossing New Horizons that wins, like Corey says, or maybe the actual truth comes out and Ghost of Tsushima wins. Like I think so. Who knows? But feel free to let us know what you think.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and have a good night.
Have a great night, guys. It's been a doozy.